Hello everyone and welcome to another Docs debrief video on Contention 80s, where this time I'm going to be taking a look at a recent sortie that I had in the Su-33 flanker. So I'm not great at Fox 1 combat, but I'm trying to get better, and this time I had a reasonable amount of success, and so I thought I'd take a look at this, see what I did well, what I could do better, and may as well share all of that with you lot. So let's jump in. So for this one I had just taken off, and this was the first time that the 80 server was on the Germany map, so I'm trying to make use of it, flying very low, but there isn't really much to terrain mask. Germany is very flat. So I am heading into two planes that are heading in opposite directions. I've got an F-15 hot on me and an F-18 that is heading in the opposite direction. I'm trying to be sneaky here and use the electro-optical system to get a lock while they can't see me. Fortunately, it's not great at detecting enemies that are head-on, so I end up going for a radar lock there. Do get the lock, fire off a missile as he moves in. I wasn't really paying attention, that missile was completely out of range, and so just decided to ditch itself in the ground. So definitely a mistake on my part. Can go over to electro-optical, but get a lock on a guy heading directly away. This is not the guy heading towards me. Do have another one heading towards me on my right. Realising on the data link I'm not in a great position here, so break that lock, re-establish contact with this guy, get him locked with the radar, and so here just trying to head in, just hoping that he hasn't got radar lock on me. I am looking a bit out of range here, which isn't ideal. Plus I still got the 27Ts loaded up instead of the radar missiles from when I was trying to be sneaky. And so again, these aren't my best ranged missiles here. The 27Ts are really nice, but the Rs do have a little bit more range. See, he turns into me here, so I whip off a missile, and then wasn't convinced about it, so fired off a second. Do get that first splash. I wanted to be able to break away really quickly there, because I've got someone else coming in right here. And unfortunately that plane that I've just shot down is now a big fireball in the sky, and so is very much going to be indicating exactly where I am. I can see this guy on the replay. I didn't see him at the time for a while, so I was just using vertical scan mode to just try and get something. By the time I get luck, I am within max range, so fire off a pair of missiles, both of them Fox 2s. Neither do anything, so close in, fire off a 73. The 73s are fantastic missiles. They can maneuver like no one's business. There we go, get a second kill there. So feeling pretty happy. It's pretty much 2-on-1, and I took them both out. Very good start to the session. Unfortunately, the sortie doesn't go great from there. Heading towards this large contact at high altitude, this F-18. Happily bumbling along.
Left engine fire.
When I explode, very confused, and realise I've just been shot down by a friendly F-16. So a little bit less than ideal end, but still going to take that. Managed to get 2 kills in a nice decent opening fight. So I kind of take from that staying low is okay, and so do stay low again. And see here, once again, this is me heading in. I've got an F-14 on EWR. We had patchy EWR here, but it was relatively okay. The enemy are flying very low, but with Germany being such a flat map, there isn't much for them to hide against, so EWR coverage is alright. I do visually see this guy trying again to be a little bit sneaky here, trying to get the electro-optical lock. Do manage it. Very close range now. Fire off my Fox 2, fire off a second, and then just try and maneuver to avoid his missile. I can see his missile coming in. I try and turn into it, but don't really have the energy. He does go down at the same time. You might have just seen his explosion there. I'm not sure if I got awarded the kill or if someone else gets awarded the kill there. But either way, he went down, so yay. So I'll call that one a trade, if nothing else. Otherwise, back up, in this case, I'm heading over Berlin, and there are a bunch of helicopters who have been basically fighting over Berlin. Friendly and enemy helicopters have been pushing back and forth. And so I decide that I need to come in and try and deal with this lot. So my radar is fine. A lot of the Blue 4 helicopters don't have any form of RWR, so it's fine to lock them. And the electro-optical system really doesn't like picking up helicopters. It has no problem picking up with radar here. So I do get a lock. I see something off my nose. I can't positively ID it just yet. I can see it's a helicopter, but that doesn't really help. I can see shots being exchanged there. I am now in max range, but as I do, I lose him below the hill. Do see that a Apache just got shot down, so I decide to go for the next target. And this one, as I'm looking, I do just see that Apache form. Very nicely, I see him launching a missile, which means he is very much focused on keeping it steady for Jester, which means he doesn't react in time. You get a nice little splash there. Taking out helicopter, not too challenging, but does very much help your team. Helicopters can do a huge amount on the front lines. Although I don't get much of a rest here, because by the time I've engaged those helicopters, I'm already in short range with these contacts up ahead. Can't get a radar lock because they were in the notch at the time, but I do get an electro-optical lock as he turns away cold. Fortunately, he can very much outpace me. It's Strike Eagle going flat out here. I'm pushing my burners to try and catch up with him, but you can see in the top left of the HUD there, he is doing over 100 kph faster than me. So I'm not going to win this leg race. All I can really do is follow and hope that he turns away, while keeping an eye on that high altitude contact on data link. Do then see that high altitude contact has dropped some of its altitude, so start to get a bit more concerned that he might be diving in. Get an electro-optical lock on something that's not this one heading towards me again. There, see a friendly passing me by, and I've got another one on datalink, which is probably the same friendly. Datalink's probably just lagging behind there. Either way, I decide that I'm going to use that guy as bait and come in here. This guy's dived right on the deck. I'm not picking up anything on electro-optical. I briefly get a lock, but only just in time to see that he is launched on me. I try and turn, but nowhere near enough. So get slapped out the sky there with a name 7. Next sortie then, still sticking with low targets. This does work really well on Syria, but I'm not convinced how well it works on the Germany map. I fire off a couple of missiles there as soon as I get the lock with the plane that I'm head-on with. Turn back in. And see, at this point he's evaded those two.
Left engine fire.
I
Engine
thought I had evaded his, but no. AIM 9M, so smokeless missile, keeps getting me killed on these. So for the next sortie, I decide to change this up. I said, right, low levels not working too great for me. So how about some high altitude stuff? So I climb up to 7 kilometers high and begin scanning around. Initially I was planning, if nothing else, that I can just dive on some helicopters, but as I'm heading around Berlin, do pick up this A-10. Do lock him up at a fair amount of range, but there isn't too many options the A-10 has. If he runs, that's going to make it nice and easy. If he continues on, it's nice and easy. Mostly he just has to wait for me to do something. DCS seems to be trying to notch me a little bit, but not overly well. I'm just waiting until I'm within lethal range. Fire a tad before lethal range with a Fox 1. And then just follow it up with a second, just to make sure. First one does hit. Probably could have been a bit more conservative and saved my other missile. But there we go, that is an A-10 down. Nice thing about firing Fox 1s there is the A-10 flares won't do anything. They do of course have chaff, but that's a lot less effective. Now, I do get a data link warning that I've got something very low coming at me at quite high speed. I fail to find it with the vertical scan. See, it's about to pass beneath me, and luckily just as I roll over I see the silver wings of this Hornet flying directly underneath me. Fire off a 73, which can pretty much turn 90 degrees off the rail, and so even though I didn't have a good angle there, he goes down. So there we go. Couple of kills in quick succession there, so climb back up to altitude seems to be working well. On this next one, I'm talking back and forth with Hez there a little bit on SRS. We've just kind of formed a random two-ship in the sky via SRS. And we're being called in to help this friendly. You might see him on data link. He's running away from 2 F-18s. And so we're trying to intercept. Hez says he's going to fire on the right-hand one, so I head towards the left-hand one. I fire off pretty much as soon as I'm in max range, mostly because I want this guy to start defending. He's getting really close to that friendly, so I'm not expecting that missile to hit. But I do just want this hostile to turn around, giving our friendly a time to get out of there. Now at this point I'm diving in, going full burners, trying to catch this guy. In hindsight, I probably could have done with keeping some altitude here in order to be flying around in a little bit of the thinner altitude, maybe get a little bit more bang for my buck. But as it is, this means I am closing in really, really quickly. You can see they are 300 kph faster than him. Very rapidly closing into missile range. He's cold from me, so lethal range and max range are pretty much the same. Almost there now. Wait a little bit longer. Fire off a Fox 1. Fire off a Fox 2 so that I can go evasive. And then as I'm turning away here, unfortunately that was a missile passing by my face. And unfortunately the second one does get me. Turns out this guy was dragging me directly over a SAM net there. and so a Roland just absolutely rips me apart. Still, really fun session, really enjoyed that. And that last sortie of getting 3 kills in a sortie, I will definitely take on using Fox 1s. Still learning a lot about Fox 1 combat, still not great at it, but I think I'm starting to get there at least. Yeah, I think on Germany I need to do a little bit more high flying. There's just no valleys and things to hide behind. But I hope you all enjoyed that. If you did, do consider leaving a like, comment, subscribe, it really does help the channel. And otherwise, hope to catch you in the next video. Till then, remember to be kind to yourselves and everyone else. Cheers.